Alright. Let's get this going, Static.
Yeah, today's sponsor of this video is Raid Shadow
Shut up,
Legends.
Wookie. I will slap you so hard right in the end of your penis.
Oh, daddy. Please.
Find it.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
From here, let's quickly just mount up into the Namer, just jump in the passenger seat, ride him back.
Yep.
I don't like this, Static. I'm the commander here. I am the captain now.
Feel free to jump in the commander's seat.
That's right.
Please keep your arms and legs inside this vehicle, because it's shit.
Alright.
Uh-oh. Welcome to the Gundark section.
User in your channel timed out.
Ah yes, between the lines.
User entered your channel.
And dismount. So pretty much you guys can just stand here. I'll stand here.
Yep.
This first part. Good thing is having two of you and having Krieger here means it should be quite simple and easy to run through. Going this, taking you, one of you each. So first thing we'll go through is just basic driver stuff. We'll run through different vehicles that we currently utilize. So as you can see behind me, what we used first was the Namer, this white big piece of junk here. Pretty much it's an APC with a 50 cal and a machine gun, or 50 cal machine gun with a grenade launcher on top.
It's nasty.
Before I kill someone.
It's a bullet magnet. That's all it is.
Pretty much, it's a giant bullet magnet. It's quite good across country, same as the Macava. However, it's just a big box that can't really shoot anything.
Yeah.
So we attempt not to really utilize it.
It's a smaller box in the lat that will get you there slower.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a lat on the ground that's really slow. Crap. Next thing, I like to call it a root cat, but it's not actually its name. It's a rooket or something like that.
I call
South
it a tank
African.
killer.
It is a tank destroyer as such. It has, I believe, 105 on it. Can't quite remember. It is wheeled, so it is quite quick across the country. It is only a 3-man crew. No passengers can be taken inside the vehicle. It is a semi-RWS turret, so a remote weapon station turret. The crew sort of sit quite low inside. The only time they're actually really up in that turret is, as you can see, to the left and the right of the turret, the little periscopes, is when they stick their heads up through there.
Yep.
Full reactive armor on that, quite fast, good main gun. Good positives to that is if we know we are utilizing no infantry for carriage, or if we're going to be up on high ground, we'll get an extra about 3 to 4 degrees of depression with that main gun. So if Gundark knows we're going to be on the high ground, we will try to utilize that vehicle to get us that extra depression.
Yeah, they used it really well on Saturday.
Yep. So that's a main reason why we like to run that bad boy. We take a walk over to the next vehicle. If everyone here thought that thing at the very end that's big and white is a piece of shit,
Oh,
this
come
thing
on.
is the king shit.
I can second that.
I love this baby.
So, as you can see, this is a hover tank. It is actually the Star Wars TX-130 Sabre. It has 2 main guns, which are 120mm in rough comparison. In size,
Rapid fire.
It is rapid fire. It does pack a bit of a punch. It does quite well. Its armor is actually quite good on it. It takes 2 to 3 rounds to destroy. However, normally the first round will actually knock out its engine, so it becomes a dead duck, and those second and third round follow up pretty quick. So, as a crew, dismounting straight away once that takes its first hit is a pretty solid idea.
But, if used properly, should decimate a picket of
If you do use
AATs.
properly, however,
It
the
barely does
reason why
anything
it's
to
really
AATs.
bad, you can't really use it properly all the time. But it does carry infantry, however they do sit on the outside. In game it sort of makes it as if you are under armour, so you are not exposed, even though you look exposed.
Oh,
I
really?
prefer it if infantry were exposed, they can be my armour, but they're not. Would have been great to have you guys' armour. So yes, you will be not exposed when you're sitting out there. The biggest downfall to this vehicle is if you hit any sort of rock or anything, it does have a tendency of flipping, just because of the nature of it being a modded vehicle. However, the main flaw is the guns. The guns are not on a turret. The only thing they can do is move a very small amount to the left and right and up and down. You need to actually move the whole entire platform left and right to really get some good traverse out of it. So it's a big issue for Gundark. When you infantry boys are hanging around and you know you're around this vehicle, you have to take even bigger consideration when hanging around it, because the whole vehicle needs to rotate left and right to move the main gun. So instead of the barrel just moving, the whole vehicle needs to, and if it hits you, it's obviously going to armor you and send you about 10 kilometers in a different direction.
Yeah.
So that's that. Move on to the next one. So the Makava, the main tank that the Gundark boys will be utilising, the 120mm main cannon. It has the 7.62 coax and also a 50 cal RWS system for the commander. It's got quite a bit of firepower, good armour on it. Same thing as the TX-130, 2-3 rounds to destroy it. It does take quite a good punch. Reactive armour on front and sides, as well as reactive armour on the front of the turret as well. They have saved us a few times and can be repaired as well in the field, which is always a positive. It also holds 6 infantry, I believe it was, in the back, so we can carry a fire team around with us while we're using the main battle tank.
Cool.
Pretty sort of simple with that. It's the main thing. You use that all the time pretty much when you're part of Gundark or see us using that. Biggest thing to remember definitely for infantry is you would be aware is that main gun firing. As gunners, new guys in Gundark, just always watch out for the infantry when you're engaging. We'll get more on that when we get to that stage of the training. And the last vehicle
Bradley.
is what we call the Badger. Another vehicle that I personally am not a big fan of. It does have wheels, which means it is good, definitely along roads and going at high speeds. It can carry quite a bit of infantry, but it is only carrying a 25mm main gun and a 7.62 coax. The commander only has a commander's independent sight. He doesn't have his own weapons system. It's quite lightly armoured. One round will normally disable it, if not destroy the vehicle. It is pretty much a APC. However, a big positive to utilising this is its amphibious capabilities. So if we know we need an APC, we know we need to cross multiple rivers or water bodies, we would attempt to run the Badger as much as we can to support the infantry, as that is one of the main roles of Gundark at this point in time. Does anyone have any questions on them? No?
You're not.
Yep.
So, yeah, no, I'm right.
Cool. We'll quickly just go through the pros and cons of utilising the vehicles. So big pros with utilising vehicles is the mobility resulting in flexibility. So ground vehicle assets allow an infantry force to move over most types of terrain at a rapid rate. This gives infantry leaders tactical flexibility and allows them to rapidly react to changing situations in a way that foot mobile force would not be capable of. Another thing is we carry extra gear, ammo, medical supplies, etc. Vehicles can carry additional supplies that would not be feasible to carry as an infantry force. This can prove key for longer duration missions and can help to prevent anyone from needing to scavenge from the enemy for weapons and ammo. The other one is great as a base of fire slash overwatch, which thanks to the weapon systems or sighting systems on some of these vehicles, there is one down the other end there that doesn't have a very good system. Is carried. The ground vehicles can work very well as a base of fire element or as overwatch. The mobility facilitates this, as well as it allows them to maneuver themselves to provide the best support in light of ever-changing tactical situation. Does anyone have any questions on pros to the vehicles? Just a quick sort of spiel what they're good for. Besides the obviously armoured, big gun, go bang, boom, things blow up. But yeah, one thing we probably should get you infantry boys to start doing is loading up these vehicles with extra ammo.
Yep.
Even if you get your boys to get their backpacks that are full of ammo, go dump it in there, go back to the arsenal, and then go put it back on. They've all got one backpack full of ammo each in that vehicle.
Yeah.
Sometimes we need to get ammo. Yeah, we may run out of ammo for Gundark. However, at least the infantry can reload on the spot and protect us while we're waiting for our ammo to come.
Yeah.
But once we start getting our own mod in, the way I plan on making it work would be when you spawn one of these as a Zeus, you'll all that gear would already be preloaded in its inventory.
Yeah.
I believe Shoga's already doing that, Static.
Cool. Well, it's already starting to happen. That's great. Then it will help everyone out quite a lot. Go on to quick cons working with vehicles. So you lose some stealth. That's one of the big things of utilizing vehicles. The noise of the vehicles operating tends to reduce the ability for a ground vehicle force to employ stealthy movement. While this does give up some of the
Channel switched. Channel switched.
catastrophic destruction of a loaded vehicle can cause horrific casualties, as everyone is aware, definitely carrying infantry. A fully loaded APC driving over an IED and being destroyed can wipe out an entire squad. It is important to always employ ground vehicle assets with care, ensuring that troops are dismounted when there is any threat that could result in a catastrophic kill or K-kill of the vehicle. And vulnerable to AT assets. Enemy ATGMs, AT rocket systems, other weapon systems can wipe out ground vehicles when employed properly. So if they're set up properly, they can wipe us out pretty quickly and from quite a large distance. So that's just one of the sort of big things to really take note of is ATGMs and everything, which is why it's a top target for Gundark to engage first, and hopefully soon you infantry boys will start seeing that as a top target to wipe out. So if you take that out, then we will be able to support you in the battle and keep going. If you don't take it out, we'll most likely back away until it's gone, so you lose your main support from the big guns.
Yep.
Next thing we'll move on to is the different crew positions and their roles within Gundark. First one, loader. Loader's only really used inside vehicles like the Macarva. It is literally just another seat for people to sit in. However, it does actually make an effect in the battle space. If you have a loader in the seat, it will load the main gun that little bit quicker. The gunner, the main role for junior Gundark members is the gunner's position. You are literally just the gunner of the vehicle and utilizing the main weapon systems of that vehicle, even if it's just a APC like the name at the end. If it's just a commander and driver, the gunner will take the commander's position to utilize the guns. The driver in this case for Gundark and what we do is also the vehicle commander. Because the vehicle commander requires...
Channel switched. Channel switched.
Sort of simple side of there. Once we get full crews, eventually the driver will become a less senior role.
Yeah.
And commander, as I said, commander's in that driver's sort of position at this point in time. However, one day we will move the commander into the actual commander's position and will be commanding vehicles. pretty sort of simple on that. So go over quickly with some basic driver commands so you can understand some of the commands that will be given to you by a commander of the vehicle. So, big one, prepare to advance. This is to allow the driver to be ready to go forward, so you get given the prepare to advance. That means just, as it says, prepare to go forward, so you know you're about to head off. You get the command advance. This is just a command to drive forward. Pretty simple. Any questions of those so far? No, cool. Next one, prepare to halt. This will allow the driver to slow and get prepared to halt. So you get the command prepare to halt, you know you're about to halt, so you can start preparing to halt or look for a position nearby where you can stop in a hole or behind a rock or a tree or something that will provide you some sort of cover or concealment. When you get the command to halt, this is the command to stop the vehicle. Another line along the halt is if you get halt, 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 that's just emergency halt. It is just straight up, hit the anchors and stop. Most likely it is due to there's either a mine in front, there's a big ditch, or there's an enemy target that we need to engage quickly, and if you keep going a little bit forward, it might come out of view. So halt, halt, halt is just hit the bloody anchors and just get that vehicle to halt. If you hear come left, right, or right stick or left stick, that is just the command to turn in that direction. You keep turning in that direction until you hear the word OK. OK is the command to stop turning and head in the current direction. So if I told left stick, you just keep turning. As soon as you say OK, the direction that you were facing when you heard OK, that's the direction to go. The best way to do that as a driver, as you're sort of driving, you look out into the distance as you're sort of turning. You don't really need to watch what's right in front of you. You should have already scanned that area as a driver, and just pick out points in the distance that you're using, and as soon as you hear OK, you're like, oh, there's a tree there, as he said OK, and then just start aiming towards that tree. Use that as your bearing. Very sort of simple, it's easy, makes it life easier for the commander, as then he can get you to go in a direct sort of bearing that he wants you to go into. The other one is a driver orient to and give a bearing like 221. That is the bearing for the driver to face the vehicle. If you want a more accurate sort of direction for the driver to go to, it is the easiest way to do it, is move to or orient the vehicle to and give the direction via bearing.
Yep.
The another command, the last one, will be prepare to reverse. Pretty simple, same as going forward. It is just to allow the driver to prepare to reverse. They know they're going to be going into the reverse, and then the command will be reverse. That is obviously the command to start moving the vehicle to the rear. Those prepare twos are pretty much just so that way you are prepared, you know which direction you're going to be heading, and where the commander just doesn't say advance and you're like, oh shit, and got to get going. At least you got a little heads up about where you're going to be heading. Does anyone have any questions with those commands?
No. Would it be advisable to use them as a infantry lead? Even though like whoever driving might not comprehend, or just use the simplest lingo as possible?
You can utilize that as you. What I would suggest if you want to bring that, because it can be easy as you possibly could work out as commanding it and as a driver, just so the link, because it's very simple wording and you can't really screw it up.
Yeah.
Get your guys on and train them as drivers. Maybe you pick a few guys who are always going to be your drivers, always pick a backup and then go through some driver training. Or if you want, we can run as a Gundark sort of side anyway. Some of it, if you want to run through on the SCT course.
Yeah, I think me and Viper are doing a squad training later in the week, or early next week. Yeah.
Yeah. So we could probably try to implement that as well. That way it might be easier for you boys to utilise some of that.
Yeah, cool.
And possibly the formations once we get to that stage of this sort of training.
Yep.
And Wookie.
It's not about the saying stuff. I just realized something about fucking shift tab. The TX, lovely over there. Can the gunner be more in charge in that thing? Because if the driver moves without checking with the gunner might accidentally hit friendlies when the driver's moving, when the gunner's shooting.
Yeah, so most of the time the commander, as he is normally aware of most of that situation, he doesn't move that much unless he knows his movement won't bring you off of target. Sometimes he may make the mistake, but yeah, most of the time the gunner does need to talk to the commander a bit. It's a lot more communication involved in that between the gunner and commander, mainly coming from the gunner, just because of that whole movement, which also makes things more difficult with using that vehicle. So we tend to hide that in the back shed somewhere where we don't want that vehicle anywhere near us. Better off being on the other side of that range over there for target practice.
Yep.
That's where that tank belongs. But hey. Alright, so what we'll do is a quick driver's practice to familiar with the type of vehicles that you guys would be utilizing out there and going through some of those basic commands. So myself, Krieger, will jump in as a commander. You guys will jump in as drivers. We'll do a quick spin around in the vehicles, and then we'll go through some of those commands out in the open field out there. Come back, you swap over vehicles. We'll use the two main vehicles that you'll use within Gundark, just to have a practice with it. We'll use the Makava, and we'll go the Saber just for the two main battle tanks.
Yep.
On the route, there's as you can see, an obstacle course over there to go through. When utilizing the Saber, which I'll take first and go through first, I'll show the route for that because there's a slight change to it to the normal one. Like the Makava can follow the main route just because of the type of hover vehicle that it is. If you crash, roll, or whatever, I understand, but that just means you're shit. But yeah, most of it's just going to be getting used to driving the vehicle, see what it's like, how it handles on hitting different bumps and turns and stuff like that, and going through those different commands.
Yeah, cool.
So yeah, Greg, if you want to take the Makava, I'll take the TX130, and then I'll lead you to. It doesn't really matter who you go with because you're just going to swap when we get back.
Yep.
Hi ho, Silver.
Alright, let's move her out, Wookie. Alright, yep, you got it.
So from here, we'll follow the green arrows track around the different track. We'll peel off to the right. You'll continue to go straight, Krieger.
Copy.
You obviously see where I mean by we'll peel around to the right.
Alright.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
Yeah, that's it. Take your time. That's it. Beautiful.
I think that might be stock.
Yeah, so can you see how the left, I don't know what you
Yeah, I
call
see how it is.
Yeah. Let's reverse. Halt. No, didn't, no. He's on point.
They're going around.
That's it.
You're good to move over.
Alright, there we go. Alright, proceed, yep.
That's how it's done.
Don't get too cocky. just see what the Sabre can't do, hey?
I think so. And then there's just me, just chilling.
Well, the tracks are designed to make their own road. That's how they're supposed to work.
Yeah. Oh, that TX should have made it up there. It's made up steep hills.
Alright, now just watch it with these crates, because these crates might move. Nice job.
From here, we'll just go through some of those basic commands that we went through before. Crew here should have a list if you just run through them just to get some practice for the driver.
10-4. Alright, prepare to halt. And halt. Come right. Okay. Prepare to advance. Advance. Come right 257. Oh, sorry, that was come left, sorry. That's on me. Forward. Beautiful. Come left 180. Prepare to halt. Halt. Prepare to reverse. Reverse. Prepare to stop. Stop. Orient 130. Prepare to advance. Advance. Come left. You got to keep going left till I tell you it's okay. Okay.
Once you feel happy, we'll head back to the start of the track and we'll do a cruise change.
Copy that. You good with these, Wookie?
Oh, you want me to go back?
Yeah, you good with these commands? I'm asking you, mate.
Oh, I'm good with commands.
Alright, let's do it. Let's head back.
Do you want to do it the fun way or the easy way?
Up to you, mate. Driver's choice.
Alright. That could have gone better.
Right. Pull her around, yep. Alright.
Then we'll mount back up, we'll go through so that way they get to experience the two different vehicles and their capabilities.
Yeah, Krieger yelled at me.
Alright, you'll find this much easier than that Sabre.
It was a bit interesting, not gonna lie. You have to pretty much get the angles perfect and...
Not a clue.
most certainly
Otherwise,
do,
you
mate.
just slip off.
Still on radio. Tell them to jump in. Fuel vehicle radio. It's right there.
Alright,
Oh,
Static,
Dex is
we're
back.
ready on your go, buddy.
All good. Who's that dismounted next to you?
I can't tell in the tank.
Yeah, Dex is back, Krieger.
Oh, that's Dex. Which tank
Yeah.
do you want him in?
Just jump in. One of them doesn't really matter.
Hey, Dex.
Hey.
Yours is a better one. For him to jump into so he can see the vehicle.
Alright, advance, buddy.
Yep.
Alright, come right.
Which is kind of a good
Okay.
thing.
Where you going?
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
I thought we took the exact same track as the Sabre.
Negative.
Yep. My bad.
Alright, prepare to halt just in case.
Yep.
Halt. Prepare to advance. Advance.
Oh, yeah.
Come right once you're up.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, goodbye, sign.
Krieger, just because you've got Dex in there, if you...
Got half of that, Static.
Yeah, sorry, I had to just quickly talk to the driver. If you want to go through the movement commands again, we'll skip that because we've already gone through it, just so that way Dex can go through and just do a quick driver swap so you can understand.
It usually can go up this, but I guess because it gets stuck on the side.
Alright, so Dex, some of the commands, mate, that you're going to need to understand. Prepare to advance. This will allow the driver to be ready to go forward. Advance. This is the command to drive forward.
Send it.
Prepare to halt. This is to allow the driver to slow and get
I
prepared
could
to
have gone
stop.
to the left a bit more, but hey, I did
Halt.
it.
This is the command to stop the vehicle. Come left or right stick, left stick. This is the command to turn in a direction. Okay. This is the command to stop turning and head in that current direction. So if I give you a left or right stick and you just keep turning till I say okay, try and make a landmark for what I've said okay, so that way you can head towards that thing. Driver orient to 221. This is a bearing for the driver to face the vehicle. Prepare to reverse. This is to allow the driver to be ready to go backwards, and reverse. This is the command to move the vehicle backwards. You got any questions about them, Dex?
No, nothing much.
Alright. Let's get ready to...
Ramming speed, Mr. Spark.
Let's prepare to
This one
halt
a
the
little
vehicle,
bit fast
please.
for me, to be
and
honest.
then we'll swap over drivers.
Copy.
Alright, let's halt. Change over, boys. Alright, Dex. I want you to orient to 000. Prepare to advance. Advance.
I should have done it to the left, but hey.
Come right. Okay. Come left. Okay.
I don't care how you say it. Oh.
Prepare to halt. I said prepare to halt. Yep. Halt. Orient 270. 270, you should be facing directly west. Beautiful. Prepare to advance. Advance. Prepare to halt. Halt. Orient to 180. Alright. You're going to follow this dirt
got
track.
him in there, Krieger, just talk him through the setting the speed limit.
Yeah, copy that. Alright, I want you to follow the dirt line, Dex. You're going to go over all the obstacles in the Macava. Proceed when ready.
Copy.
Alright, so while we're doing this, boys, if you are stationary in this vehicle and press delete, it'll set you at an infantry walking pace. Otherwise, whatever speed you are currently at, if you press delete, it will set the speed limiter to that speed. As general, if you are moving in a convoy, it is better to just move at full speed W if things are green, not shift W. This is because if you are traveling at maximum speed and you are engaged, it gives you no faster to go and makes it easier for your enemy to predict where you are going to be. So shift W is only used to run or get somewhere very quickly. It's not used to move in a convoy.
Copy. Just a question. Say if you have two like caratels and one APC that's obviously slower than the caratels.
Yep.
Caratels are to lock their speed to the max speed of the APC, correct? When they're full W?
Generally, the best moving speed for a convoy is going to be around 40 to 50 kilometers an hour.
Yeah.
Most vehicles are capable of doing that.
Yeah.
Alright, once we've gone over this last obstacle, I'm going to get you to pull into the garage to our right and reverse it back in next to the saber tank, please. Halt. Halt. Yep, you got infantry walking behind you. Alright, there you go. That'll do you.
Training.
Alright, dismount, boys.
No, that is my fault, but you'll have to do.
Cool. Good work, team. Anyone got any questions of that? I know Dex, you missed a little bit. Most of it isn't all that important, and a lot of it you'll catch up with on job training anyway. Does Dex speak?
Yes.
It does not speak.
Yeah,
Wait.
it speaks. Yeah.
It speaks.
Yes,
That's normally what we say about Wookiee. It speaks. How do we shut it up? But right, so good work. What we'll move on to is
Don't think that was necessary.
that is how we like it.
He knows we're not teleporting him, right?
You can start walking.
That's exactly right.
Did you just load a grenade up his ass?
No, I'm putting him in a body bag so it doesn't take up memory.
Oh, somebody died.
There you go.
Just a useless person.
Oh.
All good. So we'll move on to gunnery, which is going to be the new guys, your bread and butter for the first stages of your career as part of the Gundark squadron / troop. So just go through a very quick explanation of the different weapon systems. So on most of these vehicles, you will have an MG ranging from the 5.56, 7.62, and 50 cal. So the MG normally utilised against infantry and light-skinned vehicles. Light-skinned vehicles are pretty much your like trucks and warthogs and stuff, and some APCs you should be able to engage and damage some of their equipment. And if they're wheeled, you can take out their tyres to give them an M kill, which is a mobility kill. Anyone have any questions with that? Cool. Next one, autocannon. Autocannon is your 20, 25, 30 mil cannon that you see on the Badger behind you, as well as like the Warrior that we were looking at earlier today. That is your autocannon sort of range. It is good at taking out infantry and medium armoured vehicles. It can do some damage to the main battle tanks. It will take quite a long time to do it, but mostly take out the tracks and weapon systems, sighting systems and stuff like that is what it will mainly do to those type vehicles. However, the infantry and medium armoured targets it can destroy, so pretty much its own type of vehicles. The next one is the main gun, pretty much your 120 mil type cannons. It is good against pretty much all targets, including infantry if you're using HE type of rounds. However, would suggest using those MGs against the infantry. Does anyone have any questions so far? No? Cool. Alright, one you probably will. Yep.
Why can't I shoot Kriego?
Never.
I'm sorry? Yeah, no.
Unless he's playing a droid.
Even then, I'll have very bad feelings about it.
He would know you targeted him. Alright, so we're going to go through quickly some different types of rounds that you'll see utilised inside the vehicles that we mainly use. You probably will never remember it, but if you do, good work. So we'll start off with the APFSDS-T, which is Armour Piercing Fin Stabilised Discarding Sabo Tracer. So pretty much as it says, that is a armour piercing round. It is fin stabilised, which just gives it more accuracy over a longer distance. Discarding Sabo. Sabo is just a cover that goes over the round to protect it as it leaves the chamber, and it just discards it as soon as it leaves the chamber, which leaves little pellets flying around in front of the vehicle that sometimes you may be able to see. And Tracer, well, that's just a tracer that will burn to allow you to see your full of shot. Tracers activate at the 90 meter mark, so anything under 90 meters you will not see that tracer. The next round is the Heat MPT, so HEAT-MP-T. It is a high explosive anti-tank multi-purpose tracer. So pretty much as it says, it is a high explosive round. It is a anti-tank round, so it's designed to pierce armor and then explode on the inside of the armor. And multi-purpose is mainly due to the fact it can be used for multiple different things. Like it can, some rounds use airburst in armor. It can't. It's just pretty much a HE round. Doesn't pierce as much armor as your APFDS, the Sabo round. However, it is still a good round to utilise on medium armoured targets mainly. Next one is HE-T. That is just a high explosive tracer. It's just a high explosive round with a tracer element to it to help with accuracy. This weapon system or round is mainly utilised on infantry targets and light-skinned vehicles to cause havoc with high explosives. And you have the GPR-T. It is a general purpose round tracer, also known as HE. Some pretty much put it there, mainly due to some vehicles will call it GPR-T instead of HET. They're pretty much the exact same round. HE is a very general purpose sort of round. And another one that you'll possibly see, mainly only in the tank destroyer, the big sandy coloured vehicle there that went through before, is a Maruk. It is an anti-tank guided missile. So possibly be able to utilise that. Does anyone have any questions on those type of rounds? Easy. Hopefully you have a basic understanding of what they are and what they're used for and when you target. So main battle tanks and stuff, you'd load AP. If you're using medium targets or light skinned vehicles, load heat. If you do have HE, you use HE as well and use that on infantry targets.
You have, sorry, Static, I'm just going to interject here. You have no idea how angry Static or other Gundark boys will be if they're depending on you as their gunner and you have the wrong rounds loaded for the scenario you are entering. Because if you enter an area and the enemy tank's already spotted you and you've got the wrong round loaded, you're probably going to lose that fight. Very, very important you read the situation and have the right round loaded.
Along with that, if you do have the wrong round loaded and we see a tank, don't just start a reload procedure and get the right round in there. Fire that round at the enemy. It is quicker than doing the reload and then reload the proper round. That first round, if it's a heat round hitting the tank, could possibly still disable its main guns to stop it from firing back at you. If you just start your reload, you're pretty much just a dead duck whilst you're waiting for your reload for that round, so you might as well at least try and do something whilst you're doing it. If you know you haven't been spotted by it, so you're hitting down in a hold down sort of position and stuff like that, then you can go ahead and do the reload. But most of the time, the commander will tell you just to go ahead and reload. If he doesn't tell you, if he just tells you to engage, you just engage with that wrong round first.
And make sure you let your crew know that you've got the wrong round too, so they know the situation.
Also, if you are shooting and changing rounds, make sure you relays the target. Because
Yes.
the two different rounds have two ballistic trajectories. So if you're using HE and you laser target and you engage, and you switch to the Sabo round and engage without relasing, the Sabo round will pretty much fly over the top. Because a HE round travels at a lot slower rate, the barrel is actually aiming higher than the target to loop the round into the target. So if you did that for Sable, it'll fly over the top.
Are you basically relying on intel to know what rounds you're to load first?
Some of the intel is good, so we can actually do that, but a lot of time you can just read the situation where we are. If we're in pretty much open terrain and country, we always pretty much run AP.
Yep.
When we move inside of a town, if we're utilising our two vehicles, normally would have the rear vehicle loaded with AP and the front vehicle will load HE ready for infantry targets.
Yep.
So if there's an engagement, they can still engage the tank with HE and the other tank can then engage it with AP. Wave 1 loads AP for the second engagement, but if there's infantry, one of the tanks is ready to go with a HE round.
Yep.
But most of the time we'll just try to use coax or something. But main can be good at some points.
You will pick up a lot of this in just being in a tank a lot. You'll just know what to do. You won't even have to ask. You'll just do it.
So we'll quickly go through some rules of engagement. So with the main gun, you must wait for the commander to give OK to fire every round unless it is a direct threat. Had that situation the other night with Wookiee. He engaged a little bit too early and we had some injuries with some of our infantry. I think it was actually a good thing that it happened because I think once that situation has happened, I don't think Wookiee will be doing it again. It's a good learning curve happened out of that operation. So with the main gun, you wait until you've been told by the commander to send it or fire, however it wants to be, whatever they want to say, and then you'll engage with that main gun. unless it is a direct threat. So if there's a tank that just comes around the corner and it's a direct threat and it's going to kill us, you can just engage that thing without the commander's permission. Even if infantry are there and you need to do it because it's our lives, they just have to take the chance on that because it's a life-threatening sort of in danger sort of thing, whatever. Next one is the autocannon. Wait for the commander's permission to engage unless there's a direct threat as well. However, there's still slight leniency on using the autocannon without it, but still would suggest waiting for that commander's call. And on the MGs, there's pretty much a free fire on the MGs. However, would suggest waiting for the commander, as you could possibly be trying to hide from the enemy, not let them know that you're there just yet. But yeah, MGs are pretty much free to engage because there's no harm to infantry hanging around you. Does anyone have any questions with those? Oh, cool. So we'll quickly go through some of the commands given to a gunner, very similar to the driver's type of commands. So first you get load and the type of round, so that'd be load AP, load HE, load heat sort of thing will come through. That is when you switch to that type of round. Another one you get is traverse left and right, and then once again, like the driver, you'll get OK. That'll tell you to stop traversing the turret at that point that you are currently looking at. Next one is gun 1263 at 9 o'clock. That is the command to move the turret towards that direction. So if you don't quite know the clock ray, pretty much the way it is, it's all built off of the vehicle itself. If you look at the Macarva, for instance, the front of the hole is your 12 o'clock position. So here, gun is at 12 o'clock position. If you do 3 o'clock, it'll be directly off to its right-hand side. So out to the right-hand side is 3 o'clock and so on using the clock ray method. You know, if you go 1 o'clock, you'd be looking out in this sort of direction. 2 o'clock, looking out here, and so on. It can be quite easy. A lot of the time, commanders will only really utilize 12 and 6 because it's quite simple to do. 3 and 9 can be done every now and again. However, the other one would most likely be gunner and a bearing, so like gunner 217. They'll traverse into that sort of bearing, definitely mainly used for targets. The clock ray is mainly used if you just want to scan a certain direction or just have the gun somewhere. A lot of the time they're used at gunner 6 is because we want to check the rear, or gunner 12 because we're moving in close terrain and the barrel might hit something which then will armor us and flip us and send us to see Zeus. Anyone have any questions with those? There you go, Wookie.
What about cover? Like the stuff that we shoot at for cover?
That we shoot at for cover?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like, you know how we press C for cover?
Yeah, like the smoke.
Yeah, the smokes. Yeah, that.
So the smoke is only controlled via the commander's seat, and normally that is only deployed when we are hit or we see there is a rocket launcher going to engage us. We'll deploy that and reverse off of the position normally. However, tempting to get Shoga when he gets time to see if he can get the smoke launchers attached to the driver's seat. It's that way, with the commander acting in the driver's seat, he's able to send it, because at points we've found ourselves wanting to deploy smoke. However, we had no actual person in the commander's seat, which means, no smoke. Any other questions? No, the last command that you normally get will be fire or send it. That is just the standard command to send the round down range and hit the target first round on target as well.
The only thing I want to add on to that, Static, sorry mate, the only thing I want to add on to that, just because you get the command to send it, you are the gunner, you are responsible for what's coming out the end of that barrel. Unless it is a danger, close sort of thing, like there's as Static said before, there's a tank coming around a corner, its barrel's looking directly at you, then you fire regardless. But if you've got infantry within your cone, let the commander know, because they clearly haven't seen them when they've said send it. Let them know you don't have a shooting solution or any variant of, so that they can organise that infantry to get the hell out of your way as soon as possible. Don't just fire because the commander said so. Make sure you've done the PID.
Alright, cool. So what we're going to do here is we will take over some vehicles. We will move over to range and we'll move into 3 and 4. So Bay 3 and Bay 4. And we'll have multiple targets out there for you guys to engage. I made them invincible so we can do multiple engagements. So don't think they're going to blow up unless some other Zeus who made the mission after me changed it. However, they should be invincible so you can just pop some rounds into them. Stuff from there. So what we'll do is we will take a Macarva, the Sabre, and we'll take the Badger as practice. Each of you can drive one of those vehicles over and we'll head over to the tower. Like the red flag means range is hot.
Oh, okay. Nice little touch.
Because we're utilising 3 vehicles, use 2, 3 and 4 for bays.
God damn it, Sentinel.
What do you do?
He's sending messages so he comes up in the stream. Alright. What's that one? About 1k. You should have given him one like 2k's away, dude.
So you want us to stay in the tanks?
So stay in the tanks, jump into the gunner's position. What we'll get you guys to do is Dex on this radio channel.
You should be. It's the one that we load into.
Someone whoever's next to Dex want to just dismount and go find out.
Yo, Dex.
There's a lot further targets your view distance might not show.
Yeah, he's switching over to 150 now.
Oh, is it?
There's one at, I believe, 3k's.
3k's? Oh, I got nothing at 3k's.
My view distance doesn't show it when I'm not in the tank.
Oh, I got nothing at 3k's. What bearing?
We'll do it through Zeus anyway.
I'll be right back. I forgot to grab a radio.
Alright, so Dex has forgotten to grab his radio. He'll be back. So for Wookie and Davies, what we'll do is engage the first tank. If you should see it as the closest one. What we'll get is a Sabo round from both vehicles, just a 1 round. Make sure you laser it and engage when ready. 1 round.
I'm just gonna disappear to grab a radio if that's okay with you guys.
Yep, make it quick.
Alright.
Yeah, no, I got
I'm ready.
options.
Radio test.
Yeah, you good?
That's at like 10,000.
So Wookie, 1 round. Send it. Davies at the closest target.
Oh my god.
How does he not have a radio?
Yes, you do.
I don't know.
Copy.
But I'm tempted to go grab that tank destroyer so I can see if
You
I can
just want
see
me to
that
fire
tank
at the
further
second
away,
target?
because I can't
Just
see it.
while we're waiting?
Yeah, go grab it. It's definitely there. I
Alright.
Zeused it.
Alright,
I could see it.
we'll go have a gander.
Wookie, can you see the 3 kilometers, I believe it is? There's a third tank out there.
Unless it's behind that second one, I cannot see it.
Roger. There might be a view distance as well.
The server view distance might not be set up, dude.
Wookie, second tank, a 1 round, port and ready.
Alright, ready?
Check.
Send it.
Sending it.
Good hit. Switch to HE.
Copy.
The Davies are close. Tank. Oh, you're still coming back in.
No.
Yeah, sorry, I'm heading to Bay 2 now. I am hit.
Roger, did you pick up Dex on the way?
No, I did
Dex
not.
is in the
He's
file.
in the Sabre.
Oh, Roger. Dex, you on channel? Thought Dex went to get a radio.
I thought he did. I got no visual on that 3k tank, dude.
Right, testing.
Yeah, there you go, Dex.
I was pressing the wrong button, sorry about that.
Channel switched. Channel switched.
Oh, sure enough, there it is. Okay.
Ready.
Fire. All good.
Yeah, sorry, my bad.
It's just to stop you from, just absolutely unleashing.
Yeah.
Dex, closest vehicle, 4 rounds of port and ready.
Ready.
Send it. Dex, second vehicle, 4 rounds of port and ready.
Ready.
Fire. Dex, switch to HE if you've got it. Davey, second vehicle, 6 rounds of port and ready.
Ready.
Send it. Yeah, good hit. And Davey, switch to HE if you've got it. Wookie, closest target, 2 rounds, HE, report and ready.
Ready?
Send it. As you can see on HE, quite a large bang.
Rounds complete.
Wookie, a second target, a right, 2 rounds, HE, report and ready.
Ready?
Send it.
Sending.
Dex, a closest target, 4 rounds, report and ready.
Ready.
Fire. As you can all see, there is some time delay for loading. That was well short. The Davies are 6 rounds, closest target, port and ready.
Ready.
Engage.
Hey, Static, perhaps you get him to change rounds halfway through. Get him to do 2 rounds, change rounds, 2 rounds.
They've done. They're on HE now.
No, yeah, but I mean, like, do consecutive
For
2
them to
rounds
do more
change and have
targets
to
in 2
recaliber.
rounds.
You know what I mean?
Davies, a second target of 4 rounds important. Ready.
Ready.
Fire.
Complete.
Alright, good work. So from here we'll get Wookie, Dex, and then Davies to go through. First closest target at 2 rounds, a Sabo. Then switch second target at 2 rounds, a HE. Report when finished and report when ready.
So, first one Savo, second one HU.
Roger.
Alright, I'm ready.
This is what I meant, yeah. Make sure they do the laser
Send
gun.
it.
Sending.
Yeah,
Well,
overshot.
that one went over.
It's a miss. Remember delays.
Don't even know where that went. Oh, there we go.
Second vehicle.
That looks short. That hit. Yeah, first round was short.
Roger. Arrest. A Dex report when ready.
Ready.
Send it. Davies, report when ready.
We're ready.
Engage.
Rounds complete.
Good work, team. So from here, what we'll do is we'll get Davies to move up to the Carver, we'll get Wookie to move to the TX, and Dex to move down to the Badger. So from here, you pretty much got your practice with just lasing, hitting targets at certain ranges. This is just going to be a quick shoot just to familiarise yourself with that type of weapon system. Also have a play with the thermal sights, changing to and from. Whilst you're out in the combat environment, you'll most likely be using thermal to find targets. However, just before you engage, switch to a normal day sight. That way you can confirm that it is not a clone or friendly trooper, and then you can switch back to your thermal before you engage. So from here, we'll do a 1 round Sabo, 1 round HE, switch to the second target, 1 round Sabo, 1 round HE. Any questions?
Starting from me.
Yeah, Roger, we'll start from the Macarva first and we'll move our way down.
Copy. Ready to fire.
Send it.
Those were both square on, they were good hits.
Rounds complete.
Roger, Wookie reporting ready.
Ready.
Engage. This is getting them to practice that zeroing and
Yep.
changing of rounds. See the different types
Yeah,
they've got.
they both missed.
Rounds complete.
Roger. Dex reporting ready.
Ready.
Engage.
Dex has got his eye in. Those were both really good.
That's complete.
Roger, we'll do our team's change, just bounce down like we did before. We'll go through the exact same style again. Dex, just report when ready.
Ready.
Send it. Next one's going to be the fun one. Formations.
I think you need to seriously consider Dex as a gunner.
What was that?
I think you need to
Sounds
consider
complete.
Dex as a gunner, mate.
He will be. That's the starting position.
He's really got that zeroed in.
Right.
Ready, send. It's good that Davies came as well to get an understanding of what Gundark does so he can be a better commander of him.
That auxiliary round was way short, but yes, it is good he came.
Roger, we'll get report when ready.
Ready.
Engage.
Sending. He just switched to coax. Complete.
Roger, from here, switch to driver and park your vehicles back up. However, go McCarver, leave first, and just down the line, leave so you don't run into each other.
We're up next.
TX, good to move. Badger, good to move. Hopefully they got some of the basics out of that.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Hopefully you got some of the basics of very basic gunning in them and just a bit of experience of what each vehicle shoots like and everything. As you can see with the TX, when it shoots its rapid fire, it isn't the most accurate sort of weaponry out there.
No.
Two rounds sort of aren't, well, two barrels aren't quite zeroed to each other really all that well. But you can see the McCarver, pretty much a really accurate weapon system, and the Badger's actually quite accurate as well. If it packed a bigger punch, it'd be quite nice. So that completes the gunnery sort of side of it. A lot more of it will become trained into you whilst on the job, as that is your first stage of being part of the Gundark crew is gunning. So there'll be a lot of that on the job sort of training. The next part is the fun part of remembering and conducting formations, which will be a big part for you, Davies, to try to utilize some of.
Yep.
So we'll move on to core signs and who is who. So with Gundark, Gundark is technically a squadron. Within a squadron you have a 1-1, a 1-2, a 1-3, which is the troop core signs within the squadron. And if you think about it, the squadron is considered a platoon. So as we have a Valor platoon, you have Gundark squadron. The troop core sign. So as we are as Gundark, we're just only currently rolling as a troop, which is where you'll see the call signs a 1-1, a 1-1 Alpha, a 1-1 Bravo, a 1-1 Charlie. that'll be your normal call signs you'll see. The troop size is considered the same size as a infantry squad. And as you would have heard with the call signs, that is 4 vehicles is considered equal to 1 infantry squad. Does anyone have any questions with that? No? Okay, I'll go with who is actually who in those call signs. So, at 1-1 Alpha, they are the 2IC of the troop, and they are also will lead the troop in navigation and is normally the front right vehicle call sign in a formation. 1-1 Bravo, they are second in the line or front left of the vehicle formation. They are also the 3IC of the Gundark troop. 1-1, they're normally third in line or center of the formation. 1-1 is the troop leader. That's normally my vehicle. Will be the 1-1 call sign. So if you ever wanted to raise other multiple vehicles, there's 1-1. You'll raise 1-1 itself and the troop. If you 1-1 Alpha and 1-1 Bravo, you'll raise them as a individual vehicle. And lastly is 1-1 Charlie. They are last in line and normally at the rear of the formation. They are the most junior commander and normally have quite a senior gunner with them as they're a junior commander. Anyone have any questions with that? Very cool. So just quickly go over 3 types of movements that we currently conduct within Gundark. We have a green move, an amber move, and a red move. You might have heard them being used over the radio once before in the ops. They'll go through what a green move is. A green move is a move it's only to be utilized when there is no chance of enemy contact or speed/time is a key factor. It is also can be heard as rolling. It is just when vehicles are on the move, just rolling along at whatever speed is dictated. An amber move is conducted when you are in a hostile area with a possibility of contacting the enemy. It is a leapfrog type of method, so where vehicles will bound past each other. Next move is a red move. The red move is conducted when enemy contact is imminent or has just occurred. It is a caterpillar movement. Does anyone have any questions with those movements? We will practice it in physical, so you will see it a bit more.
Yeah, what? So how does the I think I have a faint idea. I just want to make sure. How does the caterpillar movement work? It just
So the caterpillar movement, you have normally we're in a 2-up formation. You have your Alpha on the right, Bravo on the left, and your junior call sign will take the first step forward, so they will bound forward approximately 50 meters. Normally we do half guns, half visual, but we just normally stick 50 to 100 meters.
Okay.
And the Alpha call sign will then bound up in line with that call sign.
Alright, cool.
The junior call sign is more sacrificial, is the kind of way you can sort of put it.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Cool. Alright, so we'll move on to formations. I'll probably jump into Zeus for this, and I can actually sort of show you the formations. Will be easier through vehicles.
Do you want to put down a cargo container here? So hang on, I'll put down a tower for you so they can see it.
Channel switched. Channel switched.
What do I want? I want structures, Altus, military. I want a cargo tower.
It's a big tower.
So we can see it from up above.
Yeah, we can jump up there.
Who's AFK?
Who?
Let's play a game of Who's AFK by who's the last up here.
Oh, he's realised. He's realised. I'll be right back. Give me 5 seconds.
Oh, look who's AFK.
Oh.
That guy.
Oh, he's putting them out here.
That's a box.
Cool. You should be able to come stand over in this little section here to be able to see. Are we missing one?
Yeah, Xavier's AFK.
This one's not as important for him to know anyway. So pretty much as you can see down here, this is a box formation. It is a common formation used for good all-round protection. As you can sort of see, it has good frontal arc, 2 vehicles engage to the front. Good rear, 2 vehicles can engage to the rear. Good to the left, good to the right. 2 vehicles can always engage in every single direction. Pretty sort of simple. Formation, how it works with call signs. Front right. That will be the 1-1 alpha call sign. There's 2IC, he navigates and sort of leads the group along. The Bravo, 1-1 Bravo, is the front left call sign. The 3IC, he's up there to support the alpha, and pretty much he keeps his vehicle in line with the Bravo, how it's going. Then if you come back to the back left-hand corner, that is 1-1. So that is the commander's vehicle in the rear left. You'll notice that they're on the opposite side to his 2IC of the groups. That way, if you get engaged from one side, you only lose one command element. Get engaged from the rear, commander gets hit. Get engaged from the front, 2IC gets hit. Engage from the left, commander gets hit. Engage from the right, only 2IC gets hit, as you can sort of see there. Pretty sort of simple. You can probably guess who's in the bottom right-hand corner. That'll be a 1-1 Charlie. Pretty sort of simple, pretty good to use. With spacing and everything like that, it is normally a 50-meter spacing, front, rear, left, right. That is sort of your minimum sort of distance you want to be able to keep from the vehicles. I'll go to the next one for you. Does anyone have any questions with box though? No? Cool. With using red, amber and green, box is a little bit more of a advanced movement for using red, amber and green, so I won't take you through that. We'll probably won't use it in Gundark because it actually requires the 2 lines to work, not the 2 front vehicles. It requires opening with spacing, covering of certain arcs, vehicles moving in the middle. Yeah, just too difficult for you guys at this point. Set up the next one.
Staggered column.
So this one, awkward. It does break the rule of having the commander and the 2IC not on the same side. This formation is the staggered line ahead. Most of the time you'll be running this mainly on a road or in close country where you've got enough room to be about 50-meter spacing from each other. So front right, you have your alpha, 1-1 alpha. Front left, 1-1 Bravo. The next one down on the right, that is 1-1, and the next one at the rear is 1-1 Charlie. 1-1 Charlie always brings up the rear. Pretty much, as I said, use along roads most of the time. You try not to do single file as much as possible. You attempt to utilize this when you're heading along tracks or roads. Even if there is just a single road, try and utilize this sort of formation and stay off the track. Because if you actually drive along tracks, you'll see dust comes up. If you're off the track, there's normally less dust comes up. Does anyone have any questions with that? No? So if you picture there's a road running straight up the middle of all these vehicles, this formation is called the herringbone. All vehicles are currently halted. If we are ever required to halt as a convoy along a road, this is how you halt. You halt in the same staggered sort of formation that they were in. It's called a herringbone. They're all pointed at roughly a 45-degree angle off the road so they can protect their flank and protect their front. Does anyone have any questions with this? It's very simple, very easy to utilise. Something that if the infantry would start to utilise would be better, like when we get engaged in a convoy, everyone sort of pushes up and stuff, which can be good, but pushing yourself into a kill zone where another vehicle just got engaged is normally considered bad. Don't know why you drive into an area where you just saw a vehicle get wiped out, but that's infantry. Sorry, Davies. But it happens.
That's fair. Yeah, especially when Jan's a driver.
Yeah, so best thing to do is you should be maintaining your space, so you pretty much just pull off where you are, facing your direction, and infantry should be able to dismount and start doing some flanking maneuvers from there.
Just a question in terms of the infantry point of view. So if the road's down the middle there, there, and say there's maybe like a hill there, maybe 50 meters, would you then like split off, depending on like say if the enemies are shooting at you from the south? Would you split off to go take cover behind the hill, or just stay there anyway and keep the formation?
If you got that sort of situation, that is when the commander should request the movement to the packet commander.
Yep.
And we can get it done. Infantry should definitely probably push out there, because when we conduct this herringbone, infantry, first thing they're going to do is provide all-round security by dismounting and pushing out towards the flanks.
Yep.
To provide external security while the vehicles will stay where they are, and then if there is a position where a tank could move up on that hill as well, you ask for permission to push for that. This is just the initial, we just got in contact, someone's engaged, we halt. It's providing some sort of all-round security to then assess what's going to happen, and then the commander will come up with a decision. It's good for junior commanders to then go, hey, I've got a suggestion that I push up to this hill so I can see, and then be like, oh, okay, yep, good, move.
Yep, no worries.
And even if infantry see it, then they can report that to the vehicle commander as well, because he's not only just worried about what he's going to do next, he's also worrying about what vehicle did he just lose, what casualties are going on, reporting and everything.
Yep, cool.
Any other questions? Oh, cool. Next one. You notice these are very basic formations. I've cut down my original formations that I was going to get you guys to learn, because there's just too many. Just disregard my retarded line, they're not exactly straight. And just remember, formation is normally that minimum of 50 meters between every vehicle. So this is the extended line, something that the infantry utilize sometimes when they're not in a combat blob. So this is normally our assault formation. If we're doing a full-on assault towards the enemy position, this is how we do it. We still maintain the same rule of Alpha on the right, Bravo on the left. So starting from right, you would have 1-1 Alpha sitting on the right. The next vehicle in will be 1-1 Charlie. That's because of the rules of trying to keep the 2IC and the lead to be on different sides. The next one in will be 1-1. And then the far left will be 1-1 Bravo. Does anyone have any questions with that? So a lot of the time we'll use that. Infantry will dismount once we get to the objective, and they will push through, and we'll do a dismount left, right, or in. Normally the two center core signs will dismount split, and two outer core signs will dismount in. However, it's really up to what the situation is on the ground. And that's for infantry to understand what they're doing with dismounting. questions?
No.
Cool. Most of the time we won't use that in assault. We'll use the next one because it is the best and strongest formation that everyone should use, including infantry. Krieger loves this one too. Once he learnt it, it was his newfound joy.
This next formation is the best formation.
I'm guessing it's 2-up, yep.
This here, gentlemen, is the best formation to utilize in the armoured world. It is called the 2-up formation. It's 2 vehicles sitting up front. So, going off the same rules, 1-1 Alpha, front right, 1-1 Bravo, front left, 1-1 in the centre, and 1-1 Charlie at the rear. So, as you can see, this provides a good frontal protection with 3 guns able to engage to the front. Good side protection, 3 guns able to shoot left or right. Good rear protection, as 3 guns are able to engage to the rear. As you notice at the box, we had 2 guns in every direction. This gives us 3 guns in every direction. Also, more targets for the enemy to try to take out. The next big positive thing to this is that Charlie call sign down the rear. With the spacing that you're sitting out, that Charlie call sign will be sitting at least 100 to 200 meters to the rear. It is a very good use of a swing vehicle, quick reaction force, reinforcement, however you want to see it, to be able to swing around. Normally the commander will have him watching creek lines, watching the rear, any sort of re-entrant or anything coming off to the side, he can have him watch. And if we get into contact and see the targets are slightly off to the right, the commander will call the Charlie call sign to push up onto the right-hand flank of Alpha, and now all of a sudden we got 2 main guns sitting up on that right flank to help support up there. Utilising this, if your infantry boys are driving around, pretty much you running 4 vehicles at the moment as infantry. If you also utilise this formation, you have quite good protection for your command team sitting in the middle there, as we have 1-1. Another call sign at the rear watching the rear, and 2 call signs up front straddling the road. So pretty much you could have the 2 center call signs running on the road. Most of the time I'd suggest running to the left or right of the road, and then the 2 front call signs obviously running far left and far right of the road to make it the 2-up sort of formation. Also, not running on the road means there's less chance of IED or mine strike. So it's another point to stay off roads, just to straddle it, as we call it. But overall, the best formation you could possibly utilise. If we're moving into assault formation, think about how easy it is for the command vehicle to move up, push slight left, the Charlie vehicle to push up, push slight right. We're in a full-on assault formation. And if need be, the commander could just push up into that gap. Or if we know we're going into an assault and the command vehicle wants to stay out of it, he would push his Charlie call sign up and fill the gap in front of him, and he will drop back a little bit. So that way he's got a 3-up formation going into an assault, which can be quite handy. Definitely if we're doing a dismounted assault, it's the way I normally like to roll it. If we know we don't need the reserve elements, that way you'll get your squads on the ground. The command element who's hiding in the command vehicle don't necessarily need to dismount on the initial assault of the objective. They can dismount once we've started to push through the objective, so they can stay under armour at the rear while all the infantry are fighting up front side by side with the tanks. Does anyone have any questions with that? Cool. As I said, most use formation will probably be the most practiced one that we'll do. The other ones we'll just probably jump into, but this one we'll actually practice going through red, amber, and green movement. As you can sort of see, green movement like this would literally be them all just rolling as is. Amber will be the front 2 call signs bounding. Red, front 2 call signs bounding again, except it will be caterpillar. And the other 2 call signs, because it's a slower movement, just have to slow their rate of advance. They don't have to bound, they just roll long as if they're in green the whole entire time.
Mm-hmm.
And the Charlie call sign, pretty much his main job is to watch 6 o'clock or any other stuff. As I said, the commander might get him to watch, but most of the time, gun will be at 6, watching 6 o'clock as they move along. So from here, what we'll do, how many have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool. So we'll get Krieger to jump in as a 1-1. You guys can fight over which vehicles you're going to go into.
Gibbs
you
Alpha.
will be changing around anyway, so you're not just going to stay in that, just going to be the start, and then we'll start driving around doing some formations and whatnot. So feel free to jump down into a vehicle. Obviously.
You said jump down. I'm going.
There's always one.
You did say jump.
Can't happen.
You want Charlie or Bravo? Dex? Up to you. We're gonna switch anyway.
Alright, so from here we'll stay in the mighty 2-up formation and we'll just do a rolling green. We'll attempt to open up the spacing to the 50-meter spacing just so you can get used to it. So from here, prepare to advance.
Wait, I'm healing. Give me a moment.
Who was it that jumped?
Jump out, Wookie, so Static can see you. We're ready to roll.
Roger, prepare to advance and advance. So with this, the Bravo call sign on the left will try to just keep in line with the Alpha call sign. Alpha is conducting the navigation. However, if the Alpha sees the Bravo falling back, he will require to slow it down and keep in line as much as he possibly could. To open up the spacing to a 50 meters, so pretty much Wookie pushes out to his next big white line to his right, and Dex pushes out to his big white line to his left, and then Krieger pretty much sits straight up the center that he is now. That is roughly where you want to go, and Davies would probably want to drop back another like square. That is approximately what you'd want to look at for your green sort of movement. So from here, what we'll do is we'll orientate you around to the right. The way you would do this in this formation is Wookie will pretty much slow down to a near halt. To try a turn, Dex will have to speed up and push right around, maintaining that same spacing, and then Krieger and Davies would slowly move around. So we'll start to orientate to your direct right now. So Wookie, at some stage you may need to halt to slow down as we slowly bring it around like a gate, and then once you see your Bravo pretty much push up next to you, you start taking off again. Yeah, not too bad. Normally we call that like swinging around like a gate, so that way we've always just swinging it right around. It's just not cutting across into each other's arcs or anything like that. So from here we'll go and prepare to hold, and hold. From here we'll move into an amber move. So the amber move is the leapfrog type method, and having a Bravo as the junior call sign, they will take the first bound, they push up to approximately 50 meters forward, they go to a halt, and normally we'll call firm if they can't be seen, if they're in a hole or anything. If not, if they're seen to halt, normally the Alpha then will take the next bound and push 50 meters past the Bravo's position. So from here, move into amber movement. Bravo is Dex, you're on the left hand side, you're the Bravo call sign, you're first up. So for this, just push up like 2 squares, we'll count that as the distance to move. As the Alpha could see, Bravo has gone firm, he's able to make the next bound and push 2 squares past the Bravo's location. And the 1-1 and 1-1 Charlie, they just slowly roll up, just maintaining that 50 meter spacing from the closest vehicle in front.
Set.
So.
As you can see, it's a bit slower, however this type of movement allows the 1 foot on the ground sort of movement. It means one vehicle is scanning for targets and able to engage straight away because they're a stable platform. One is still able to engage on the move, however it won't be quite as accurate because of that general movement that he's going through. It's definitely a lot more secure movement if you know there's possible enemies within the area. So from here what we'll do is we'll move on to a red movement. So the Bravo call sign also takes the first bound. He moves approximately 50 meters in front of the Alpha call sign, and the Alpha, all he does is moves in line with the Bravo call sign. So from here, red move. So Wookie, you hold there, let him take the bound, so you still conduct a bound. However, you're only moving up to in line with him.
Okay, so I don't go in front, I go with him.
Yeah, you always, so you let your junior call sign always be in front. So this is a little bit more of a secure type of movement, and also means there's less chance of the Alpha being taken out. So he's essentially moving up to a somewhat of a cleared zone. Just continue the movement. So Dex, all you'll be looking for is for the Alpha call sign to come level with you, and then you're able to make your next bound. And from here, once Alpha has bound up to be in line with Bravo, we'll do a teams change and orientate back towards your 6 o'clock. We'll get Charlie up to Bravo, Bravo to Alpha, and Alpha to Charlie.
Stay in your vehicle. We'll just we'll directly spin around. I'll move to Bravo, you move to Charlie, and Dex move to Alpha. So just I'm gonna spin around and move out to the left, and then Dex will push over to my right, Krieger in the middle, and you at the back. Okay.
I was going to say perhaps we do a 180 so we stay in range.
That's what we're doing. We're doing a full 180. So Dex push up to the right hand side, up to the Alpha's position. So we'll pretty much just go through the 2 up formation in the red, amber and green, and we'll possibly touch on the other sort of formations, even though most of the time you won't really be using it, so I probably won't really actually physically do it. So from here what we'll do is we'll move on with a red movement from here. So red movement will be Bravo always goes first. So Bravo will take the first bound, the 50 meters, which for this instance we'll just use the 2 squares again. And then Alpha, you just move up in line, and same again for the 2 rear call signs, you just bumble along in the rear with the thumb up your ass.
Yeah, ready to move.
And good to start, red.
Set Dex.
So you got to think get this whole entire time during this movement, the commander will be telling the gunner to scan certain areas. The gunner has to be pretty vigilant here and always watching for any sort of enemy targets that are out there in all directions.
Set.
Once you start getting some good crews that work really well together, you can sort of pick up roughly where you believe their next position is going to be, and roughly you can see the vehicle starting to come to a halt. The vehicle that is waiting for its next bound is actually able to start making its move to speed things up. Roger, from here, once Alpha takes the next bound up in line with Bravo, we'll switch to an amber move. Amber move is still the junior call sign once again taking the first bound, however Alpha will now be able to actually bound past the Bravo call sign by 50 metres. So, amber.
Set. Set.
And from here we'll move into a green move.
Solve that Dex, yeah.
It's pretty much once you see the Bravo starting to catch up, that's when the Alpha can start moving, as it takes a bit longer to accelerate. And then the Bravo just falls in with the Alpha, following in line of him as he guides the formation. So what we'll do is a complete left-hand turn, which will require the turning like a gate to the inside call sign, which would be the Bravo. We'll pretty much slow right to a halt while the Alpha slowly swings around, maintaining that 50-metre spacing. And then as soon as Alpha catches up, the Bravo will pull in line with him and they'll keep going on the green. Roger. Dex, do you really feel like you need to jump into Charlie? And Davies, do you feel like you need to jump into Alpha's position?
Nah, that's alright, I believe I've got it.
It's pretty sort of simple. So what we'll do is we'll just come to a halt and then form a box formation utilizing the same call signs that you currently are. So you pretty much got it, you're all just sort of moving around for spacing. It doesn't really matter the spacing in training, but 50 metres is your normal sort of radius, but yeah, good work on going to box. If we go to an extended line, you may require to open up the spacing for this one. So Wookie, as you're the Charlie call sign, you would go to the right hand side of Krieger in the 1-1 and left hand side of the Alpha, which is Dex. So remember the Alpha call sign is the furthest right and Bravo is the furthest left. Good work, that is your extended line. And as Krieger does not have a commander, he has just fired a weapon without the rules of following the rules of engagement.
I am the commander.
I
am the captain.
And so from here we'll form, facing back the opposite direction, a staggered line ahead.
Ugh. Gross.
So a lot of the time it would take the Alpha to set, and once Alpha's set, then everyone else pretty much forms up around him, knowing where they're going to have to
Charlie vehicle, you're
be.
on spot. There you go.
From here, green.
Oh, look at this, we're exposed on the right hand side. I hope we don't get attacked.
Oh, it'd be your fault because you're not looking there.
So if we're just travelling along, all of a sudden we get engaged from the front, you conduct a herringbone on the side of the road. Do that. Yep. Good work. Alright, so from here we'll bring the vehicles back, park up, and go from there. Let's go two up formation on the way back. It's good to start seeing you guys start to pick up where you've got to be and what you've got to do.
Come on, Gregor, come on, wait.
I was just watching, making sure you guys were doing the right thing.
Now if I said bring it into a single file, how do you reckon you guys would do it?
Alpha, Bravo, command, Charlie.
Roger, single file back into the compound.
It's gorgeous, Static. It's like little ducklings learning how to waddle.
Yep. Now if I tell you to halt. Cool. From here, what we'll do is a quick explanation of moving into a vehicle hide. So, if you get told we're moving into a vehicle hide, moving to a certain grid, normally you would stop approximately 1 kilometre from the position if you know it is a cleared position, if not just outside of that sort of location within a few hundred metres of it. You guys will conduct a herringbone, so conduct that. From here, the command vehicle, the 1-1, will push through down the road in between his call signs to take up the lead. From there, Charlie and Bravo will follow on, and the Alpha will bring up the rear. As soon as the commander has found a nice little spot, he will stop into the centre sort of position. Everyone will follow his sort of direction, and then if you all halt there, what would happen is the Charlie call sign will push off to the right hand side where Alpha normally will be, and take up front right, and then the Bravo will push up front left, and the Alpha will pull to the rear and reverse and face his hole the other way. So Davies, if you just push up a little bit further, so pretty much what you've done is made a 2-up formation facing the most likely position of the enemy. For Armour, what we'll probably end up doing is just having the Alpha stay where he normally stays and Charlie go to the rear, just for ease for you guys. But this is the real world how it gets done, because the Sarge sits at the rear, watches the rear. Pretty much from here, what you would do is you'll dismount and you'll keep your gunners in. Infantry will dismount and they'll spread out and set up their hide. So this is where you would be parking up your vehicles, how you have it all set up when you go. You can do a closed-in hide, which a real close hide is pretty much the Alpha reverses back up and he's only got about 1 metre, 2 metres from the back of the command vehicle. The Alpha and Bravo do the same thing at a 45-degree angle off of the 1-1's left and front right track. So they're facing at a 45-degree angle. Pretty much how you guys are. That is a close hide. This is more if you're in a tiny little hidey hole of an area just trying to hide your vehicles. This will most likely be utilised by the infantry if they're parking up to leave their vehicles whilst they're going off onto an objective. You park in a close hide like this, hopefully under trees and in bushes and stuff like that. So from here, switch off, dismount, and then if you have any questions, send them.
Describe your perfect Sunday.
Sitting on the beach with you next to me.
Oh, kinky.
I think you just described the 985th daydream. Oh, we'll come and up see you.
Does anyone have any questions?
Channel switched.
Oh, that, ladies and gentlemen, is how the Krieger dies.
How he dies is
Ah, far out.
So the hide thing was just a quick last minute thing I just threw in there. If infantry run that when, as I said, if you are going to leave your vehicles, it can be quite good because as you pull in, it will set up a good little hidey hole, good all round defense for it, and then you can park up your vehicles and they're sort of hidden away. But obviously it'd be very difficult to run that as infantry to get them to do that. But yeah.
Cool.
So the next part of the training, which pretty much I've got to head off, most of it's theory. So if you just read the routes and all that sort of stuff, unless Krieger wants to take over for that part.
No, I think we'll need to turn the server off so that we can get another mission tested for tomorrow.
Fair enough. But yeah, if you read the 985th vehicle handbook to go through the routes and all that sort of stuff. But otherwise, does anyone have any questions?
Yep. No.
Yep, no?
That was meant to be a no. I don't know why yes came out.
Fair enough.
Because deep down inside, you too want to know what his perfect set weekend is.
So that means we passed and get the
Actually,
quals?
No,
Yes.
never mind. There's nothing.
So that's 32 and 33, right? Or just 32?
So with that, good work. Definitely Dex and Wookie, welcome to Gundark. You'll be junior Gundark members. You'll get a lot more experience on the job training where it becomes a little bit more in depth of learning the actual little things. It's all the 1%ers that actually make a good crew. This is just the very basics of stuff that you need to know. So you need to pretty much know everything you just did here off by heart, definitely towards the formations, as they are quite big. When we start moving into jockeying and going to hold down, turret down and all that with more on-the-job training, that will also become a need to know how to do that, which will run squadron/troop training on that ourselves once we can get the other two instructors in as well, as it's a lot easier when you've got more instructors in there to do it. A lot of that will also come down to the gunner. You actually need to know what you're doing because it's up to you when the vehicle halts to engage. If you get it wrong, the whole vehicle will be able to be seen and engaged, and we all die and we all blame the gunner because he did a shit job.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. That's where a lot of that will come into. But yeah, with becoming junior members of the Gundark, you'll be teamed up with a senior member, which is at this point all the commanders. And if there is no senior member on, both of you can crew a vehicle together. However, if there is only one of you, just run with the infantry for that sort of op, because you won't have any other Gundark sort of member. Running one vehicle doesn't quite work. We've tried and tested running with AI and everything. It's just best if we just don't use the vehicle.
I agree.
So
I know you're
that is when
going with
like
that
Davies,
one op, okay? I know it's that one op.
like having Davies as like coming here and learning a bit of this. So like if you two, one of you were there, good idea would be probably try to
Oh
join
yeah,
up
good
with
thing to
Davey's
say
group,
is
because he will have an understanding of what needs to happen, and having
we
someone
should
who can
also
actually
say
drive a
to
vehicle.
Davies and Mr. Command Staff about
Oh yeah, that's the address.
I'm like, he's asking for it.